So let's talk about the final drive of this football game. Basically, okay, there was an 8-second drive at the end, but I mean the final real drive of the game started with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Chiefs at their own 25-yard line in a tie game. What are they going to do? Well, first, they're just going to run it. As you see, Mahomes is going to give the ball to Pacheco to the offense's left, and they pick up a couple of yards, but nothing much, which would set up the next play. We are now going to have a 2nd down and 7. And again, this is a lot of what the Chiefs did with just small things. They were not getting these big explosive plays. They were methodically working the ball down the field, which is interesting because, this is going to be a 2 safety deep coverage, quarters coverage, and kind of the whole thing about the Chiefs is that they couldn't beat this coverage these past couple of years. That's kind of what the narrative has been, and what they did when they traded away Tyreek Hill was their goal was essentially, we got to be able to beat these types of coverages. We got to be able to find ways to methodically move down the field. We can't just be a team who relies on explosive plays because in big games, those aren't always there. But on this play, you can see how it can work, right? There's that little bubble kind of underneath where there could be a window to make this throw to Juju Smith-Schuster. Look, Mahomes is going to make the, makes the throw eventually. Smith-Schuster is able to make the grab, and you pick up a first down like that. Getting the underneath stuff and being able to methodically move down the field is a very effective strategy in a big game like this. Then they would have this, which would be another run that isn't going to go for too much. A big hit there, which would then transition into this play. It is going to be a 2nd down and 8. And this is, again, one of those plays where it's like, you got to pay more attention to Travis Kelce, guys. You got to do this, where it looks like it's I believe this is supposed to be a man coverage play, and with a player in motion, they are going to switch off where the linebackers are covering. The issue is for Travis Kelce, who's right there, look at the linebacker who's supposed to be covering him. He's so far over, and I'm not even sure if he realized that that's what he's supposed to be doing. However, right when the play begins, Mahomes realized that he's able to hit Kelce, and they were able to get very close to the first down, not quite able to get the first down. And this would actually lead to, I think, the biggest play maybe of the Super Bowl, in fact, which would be a key 3rd down and 1 situation. So here's the spot. 3rd down and 1 with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left currently on the clock in their own territory. And while I think a lot of people would say, if you don't get it, you can go for it, I don't know if Andy Reid does that. Andy Reid is a very cautious 4th down decision maker, and in this spot, do you go for it on 4th down? Because if you don't get it, then the Eagles are in great position to win the Super Bowl. All they would need is 1 first down to get in field goal range. Maybe not even 1 first down would get them into field goal range, but the Chiefs would not have to worry about it. You see, it's going to be a running play, which again, bit of a bold call, right? And especially this sort of exotic look that they're doing where they have, another back in the game who's going to be blocking here. They're going to give it to Pacheco going from the offense's right to the offense's left. Very clever play call here. However, as you see, Mahomes is going to give the ball to Pacheco, and it's just well blocked. And that's kind of one of the things that I think was underrated in the lead up to this Super Bowl was the idea that, everyone talked about the great Eagles offensive line for a good reason. It's very good. It deserves to get talked about. But I don't think enough people talked about how this Eagles team this Chiefs team blocks really well as well. And you see it right here. Pacheco has a ton of room. He is able to pick up the first down. Maybe could have had more had he been able to break a tackle. But again, actually ended up working out all right for him. That did not work out that way as he's able to, pick up a first down. But then we would get to this one. So these were kind of the explosive plays that would happen. That last one, not action explosive, but, got a decent amount of yards. This play was the one explosive play, the 115-plus yard play in this game. What's going to happen is it's actually interesting where the Eagles are going to be playing man here. Watch as Mahomes takes a snap, and you see how that middle of the field really clears up. And on top of this, they let Mahomes get loose. And man, doesn't it just feel like so often when they need a Mahomes scramble, they get a Mahomes scramble? I don't know what it is, but it just seems like it always happens. I mean, I paused it right here. Mahomes is about to get past just the line of scrimmage, and it feels like it's so close to him getting tackled, right? And that's just seemingly how all of his scrambles are. It feels like all of his scrambles, he could easily reach out and touch any defender at any moment he wants to, but he just somehow stays an inch ahead. Watch him be able to just keep going, and again, his ankle doesn't look injured. He gets inside the 20-yard line and sets up a position where they basically, you feel like it's a guaranteed field goal. Now, it might not be, right? Harrison Butker has missed some he missed the field goal in this game already, a 42-yarder, so it's not a guarantee. This one would be a little bit closer, but not by much. But you feel pretty good. You like your chances of winning the Super Bowl in that spot. So then we go over here. So what's going to happen is, so again, first down and 10. What do you do in this spot? There's a decision to be made, because what's worth noting is, again, the time here, it's going to be, you could snap the ball with a couple seconds later if you wanted to. You could snap the ball with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left and throw a pass if you wanted to. But again, there's a risk factor there. Mahomes is very good at protecting the football this season. He's been one of the best in football at doing that. But still, do you want to take that chance? Running the ball is the safer play. That's what the Chiefs are going to do. They decide to run the football, which will take us to the 2-minute warning. Because again, if you passed the ball and you were able to get it to the 2-minute warning, then you could have potentially been in position where it didn't hurt you, even if it's incomplete. But there's a risk there. I think this is probably the right call. Unfortunately, though, you were not able to get too many yards on this play. That's going to take us to this one, a 2nd down and 8. And again, it's a decision to be made. But you're thinking about this, and you're like, you know what? You really don't want to just run the ball twice and kick a field goal to go up 3 with 2 minutes left. Yes, the Eagles would have no timeouts, but that feels like they have a really good chance of kicking a field goal given the way their offense is playing. You just don't want to put yourself in that position. You don't. So they're going to do something different, which is, again, it makes sense. They are going to look to throw the football, but they're not going to go crazy with it. They're just going to throw a quick screen pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. That's what they're doing. Also, spoiler alert, nothing crazy is going to come of this screen pass, but there is one incredibly important thing that happens on this play. This is a game-saving, a Super Bowl-saving play that feels like nobody noticed, but watch the snap. Look at that low snap. If Mahomes doesn't pick that up, if Mahomes drops it, or maybe it takes a funny bounce or something, that could have been a disaster. What if the Eagles recovered it? Then it would have been a tie game, and the Eagles would have had 2 timeouts, 2 minutes left to try and just kick a field goal to take the, not just, to tie, but to take the lead in that spot. Again, I'm not saying this is the most incredible play ever. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to be Chris Collinsworth saying that Patrick Mahomes made the greatest play of all time when the ball slipped out of his hands or anything like that. But it still is a very impressive play, and it's those little things that happen in a football game that can sometimes be this, the whole swing of the game. It's a game of inches at times, and that's an example of it, I thought. But it's not over. We now have to go over here. It is a 3rd down and 8, and I think we know what happens in this spot. I don't know how much you have to break down to play concept itself. You're going to see that Mahomes, again, another low snap. I mean, really, this could have been a disaster. Mahomes' throw appears to be high, but they rule a holding penalty on it, which was definitely a weak call, I thought. Bradbury said Bradbury liked the call. Bradbury's, I guess, very pro-ref here. He did not have an issue with it getting called. He said he tried to get away with it, was hoping in a big spot he wouldn't get called, but he was. If he says it was the right call, I'm not going to argue with him. Okay. I thought it was weak, but I didn't have as big of an issue with it as some other people did, it seems. But as a whole, I just thought it was a really good final drive by the Chiefs. Yes, the ending kind of, gives it a weird feel, but there's no asterisks on the win or anything like that. This was an incredible drive. They were able to get all the way down to 8 seconds left when they kicked the field goal to go up by 3 points. When they, started a drive with over 5 minutes left. Just an incredible job. If they got a field goal and only took 2 minutes off the clock, it would have been great. But what they were able to do to win the game with this, just great stuff, and it's why they're Super Bowl champs. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.